Welcome, friends. This is Emmy. I am a CZT and a retired public teacher. So I've been told I'm pretty good at this, and I really am excited to work with you and to teach you today. So this is Inktober. You're on Zen with Emmy on YouTube, and I really hope that you enjoy it. I hope you've downloaded the Inktober Tangles 2024 by Stephanie Jennifer. They're all the tangles that we are working on, and in a very good, easy to follow form, and very elaborate, matter of fact. She spent a lot of time on this. I've got my usual supplies, and today it's time to join our tiles together. So what I'm doing is you and I have done up through number 5. So this is my whole book, and yours too, I would expect. And then, as I've mentioned before, you have choices. You can either take a minute and put the name of the patterns, which we have in our creativity book. You can put the name in the creativity book, or you can put the name on the back of this little book that we've made. What I preferred to do was to do Inktober Challenge so that I could grab this book in my hand and look everything over. Now at the time, you always do things different, right? And at the time I put the name of the pattern and the author or creator of the pattern on each page. I'm really not sure I like the look of that. But you have time to decide, and there's no rush. What I did decide to do that's different this time is put the numbers on each so that they correspond with my creativity book. But it is time, no matter what you're doing, to join the back together with your fun washi tape or whatever tape you're using. So hopefully you've got that straight. Hopefully you are ready to rock, and let's get going on our new pattern today. Number 7 is called Zander. I love this one because it's HQ, and it's one of the oldies and goodies. Start with your pencil and make a long stick with pencil. I'll darken this so that you can see it easier. And then about an inch from it, very flexible on this, you're going to make another aura line. I'm going to turn this so that my work is right in front of me pretty easily and close. And this is what I'm going to do, a series of bands. This is how the bands look like this. They're going to go out, over, and around like a great big half of a safety pin. So I'm going to come out, over, and around. And I'm going to do this again, right below it. Out, over, beyond, and then I'm going to darken this little area here between these two. Do you see the look of that? Now you might like to darken this also down here. Not sure. That's in the eye of the beholder. Let's do it again. Out, big kind of C, and the other side, it has the illusion of going behind. Isn't that the coolest ever? And then again, out and behind. Darken. And let's make a third one. Out, behind, out, and behind. Now's the fun part. So we're going to fill this in. It reminds me of a ponytail or maybe a haystack, which is so appropriate right now. And we're going to do this little thing called sparkle. A sparkle is a series of sticks that you leave a hole in the middle of. Look at like that. And when you get them all assembled, you have the illusion of that little hole in there. Now, I did put that already in my embellishment book. So on my first page was my embellishment. So I already wrote sparkle in there, and how to do sparkle just worked out that way. We're going to do sparkle in here a bunch of times. So to begin with, all I'm going to do is do a row of a stick that lifts and goes behind each of those safety pins. When I get to about the third one, wherever my pen feels like lifting, that's what we're going to do here. And you can do this sparkle wherever you want it. You can close it off and start a new one. You can make one a little higher. See how that is on a more or less goes up. This one does not. I'm going to close that one off now, and that one too. But if my pen feels like it, I might create another one in here or in another spot. Maybe I'll have a little division and a little more sparkle down there. I love this pattern. Been around a long time. Well, you get your haystacks all in order now, won't you? You see how I'm just letting my pen flick? Has the illusion of going and being wider, and it's real important that I kind of have this going out too, and maybe I'll have a few hairs or whatever they are going beyond here, and I kind of round that. Don't you love that? And I gotta have something that this is standing on, in my opinion. And that is Zander. I love this pattern. It can be as wide or as skimpy as you want, but those bands hold those strands in so well, don't they? So this is where I'm going to put it. Look at this sample that I have for you. I'm going to put Zander right in the middle, like this. Now, like I told you on this one, I wrote the word Zander. I'm not sure I want to do that yet, but I will leave space in case I decide to do that. So I'm going to work right here, and that's why I asked you to just do pencil in these borders for now. But I'm going to come down a little way. I'm going to go over that area where the two come together, the two tiles. Do another one. Come down a little bit. Do another C and another one below it. It's easier to darken for me as I go. And that's about as low as I want to go on my booklet right now. Is it cute or what? Okay, so now we'll put the haystack top on. And you can see that I have worked both down and up. I'm darkening where this would go behind. On this one, that seems to be appropriate to me for that go behind look. Add a few wild haystack hairs up and down. We'll be filling this in, won't we? Just fine. I'll put some music on here so that you can go ahead and work at your own pace. How sweet. I'm going to take a minute, turn this so that I can darken in between here. And I'm going to grab my Sharpie because it's just a little bit thicker. I do like to put a little bit of light in the middle of each of these bands too, like the sun is reflecting on it. I like to do that in pretty much the same area all the way on each of the bands. And you see how I've kind of made that so that it's not solid. It's not solid white and it's not solid black. Sweet. Maybe this needs a little bit of that heavier pen too. I might decide to do a little more with that, but for now, I want to put some shading on. I actually have a pencil that's a little darker lead, and so I'm going to use that because I want to get some tight shading on either side of this. So you see I'm putting a pretty tight shading line. Pretty thick too, do you notice that? I might do just a little bit along in the areas also. Okay, grab your blender stump. And I want to smudge this out, but I also want it to be real dark right here by this band. So even though you can see I'm smudging it out, pushing it out, I'm making sure that the bulk of it stays right by that band. So I diffuse it into the hair or whatever you want it to be. You know what I like about Zentangle the most, one of the many things, is that you have just learned to do this pattern and you're going to be able to replicate it and teach someone else, or you're going to be able to do it over and over and add some of these other patterns to it. Like I could see you adding this cute little thing right in the middle there, or this hair piece in the middle there. So that's pretty much Zander. I hope you like it, and I hope to see more of it and what you're doing. See you tomorrow for our next pattern. This is Emmy on YouTube, and please, if you have a chance and you haven't already, subscribe to the channel so that you can keep getting these videos that I'm having so much fun making for you. We have Emmy's Zen Friends on Facebook, and that's a fun group too. It would be very fun to see you post these really cool things that you're working on. Thanks again for being here. Bye.